Alex Pereira must stay at light heavyweight, and he cannot move up to heavyweight to pursue a third championship yet. Now, let's look at Alex Pereira's resume at light heavyweight, and more importantly, his championship reign. He beats Yuri Prochazka to get the title. He beats Salty Man Jamal Hill to defend his belt, and he defends his belt again against Yuri Prochazka. Incredible resume, unbelievable champion. Alex Pereira deserves all the praise in the world, but he does not deserve a heavyweight title shot yet, and I'll get into that momentarily. First, number one reason why he doesn't deserve a heavyweight title shot. Magomed Ankalaev exists, and he's the clear-cut number one contender in the light heavyweight division. It's just that simple. If you don't, I get it. A lot of people don't like him because he's from, the Caucasus region. I guess he's boring. People say, even though he's not boring, he's primarily a striker, just with good grappling. So he's a very well-rounded fighter. He debatably should have been champion, but it was a draw of Jan Blachowicz. So he's a really good resume. He hasn't lost a fight in a long time. I think he's on a 8-9 fight win streak. It could be longer, but around then, over solid competition. Keep in mind, when you go through his resume, a lot of light heavyweights resume, the division just isn't that great. So it's not like the lightweight division where, if you go on a 5-fight win streak, let's say, you're in the top 10, you probably have all these nice names. Light heavyweight, it's just not as deep, so the names won't be as good. So I get if someone's like, oh, well, his wins, when you look at them, aren't that great. He still has wins over Nikita Krylov. He still beat Johnny Walker. He still has a lot of quality wins. And so at the end of the day, he is the clear-cut number one contender. No matter what you say, he is clear-cut number one contender. And he debatably should have been fighting at UFC 303. I get why they didn't do it. Yuri versus Pereira is a bigger fight, a fight that the fans would rather see. And it was a super compelling rematch. Both are just mythical, out-of-the-movie type fighters. Yuri coming off that great win over Rakic at UFC 300. Over elite top 5 light heavyweight. So I get why that fight was put together. But for the next fight, it has to be Magomed. It's just we need a meritocracy where, the rightful challenger is getting his title shot. Because I don't want to see someone who doesn't, unless it's if it's Anthony Smith, if it's not Anthony Smith, it has to be Magomed. If they want to throw Anthony Smith in the title shot to fight Pereira, that is the only undeserved title shot I'd be cool with, because that would be hilarious to watch. So if it's not Anthony Smith, it better be Magomed Ankalaev. But all right, jokes aside, Magomed Ankalaev is the clear next fight to make. And let's get to the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is in shambles. I mean, we have, in a week, we have Tom Aspinall defending his interim belt before the champion ever defends his belt. We have Jon Jones, who last fought at UFC 285, took 0 damage, takes a year to fight Stipe, gets injured. Now we have to wait another year for this fight. Not anymore. The fight will probably be, in 4 months now. But we waited overall 2 years, for this fight. And it's just ridiculous. Maybe not that long, but it's just ridiculous how long we've waited for this. And when you look, at Stipe, this guy hasn't fought in over 2 years, at least almost. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And no one wants this fight. Dana White keeps jobbing fucking Jon Jones, keeps saying, all the fans want this fight. Go to the heavyweight division versus go to MMA. Yeah, Stipe might be the go of the heavyweight division, but he got flatlined by Francis Ngannou in his last fight, and that was a long time ago. There's so many fans that probably don't even know that happened, to be honest, because they've never seen Stipe fight at all. They don't even probably know who he is, because it's who's that? I've never seen that guy fight. So I just don't get why Dana wants to make this fight. Maybe it's because the reason why they probably want to make the Stipe fight is because they're probably worried that if Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall and retires, think about it, the heavyweight division, even with Jones in it and Aspinall in it, is still a very weak division in the UFC. If Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall and Tom Aspinall loses a ton of hype, but say he gets dominated, he'll lose a ton of hype. He'll be coming off a loss, and Jon Jones rides off in the sunset. The shadow of Jon Jones will loom over the heavyweight division for a long time. So that's probably the reason why Dana doesn't want to make the Aspinall-Jones fight And that's why, he's hyping up Stipe and John Jones so much as pound for pound number one. That, basically he's hearing the criticism and he wants, somehow he's trying to convince fans that this is the fight to make. But he hears that criticism. And I kind of I understand what the UFC is doing by not giving Aspinall the title shot. And, trying to, maybe have Aspinall take Jones's place if Jones beats Stipe and then retires. So, Aspinall coming off a win over Blades, takes a champion spot after Jones retires. Every division will have a little bit of hype in it. But at the end of the day, I just want the fights that are supposed to be made. And even if that means Jones leaves a shadow, over the division, I don't know, try and get better heavyweights in here. I know it's easier said than done because the heavyweights are it's harder to find guys that big that want to do the sport. It's hard to find, especially think about it, it's hard to find guys that big that want to do the sport. And it's even harder to find guys who are really talented, like a Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, John Jones, Alexander Volkov. It's even harder to find those guys. So I get what the UFC is doing, but it's still so annoying because it's putting the heavyweight division in shambles. And if we put Alex Pereira in that mix, think about this. John Jones is going to fight Stipe no matter what. Let's say he wins and he wants the Alex Pereira fight. It's a huge fight. Alex Pereira gets absolutely dominated in that fight. I hate to say it, but he does. One takedown from Jones, it's over. But let's say they make John Jones versus Alex Pereira after Stipe. What's Tom Aspinall going to do? Defend his interim belt again, like against Ciryl Gane? I mean, what, is this guy going to defend his interim belt twice? The fact that he's defending it once is shameful on the sport. It's disgusting. He's going to defend it again? So, guys, if we want any bit of the heavyweight division actually making sense and the fights that should be made are made, we cannot have Alex Pereira in the heavyweight division yet. He needs to at least beat Magomed Ankalaev. And if he beats Magomed Ankalaev and the heavyweight division makes sense, so let's say, of course, unfortunately, we have to get Jones versus Stipe. Let's say Jones beats Stipe, okay? And then let's say Jones wants to stick around and fight Tom Aspinall and unify the belts, or maybe he retires. If Jones wants to fight Tom Aspinall, you have to do that fight. You cannot skip over Aspinall and give him Pereira. It just, I mean, what's Aspinall supposed to do? As I said, defend his interim belt again? I mean, it's a clown show. This is literally WWE type shit right here. It's a clown show. So if that happens, it's total clown show. So this is what needs to happen. Obviously, I wish it didn't have to happen, but we're going to have to get Jones versus Stipe. After that, if Jones doesn't want to retire and he wants to stay, you put him against Tom Aspinall. And then if Jones wins that, the winner of that fight, I mean, if Jones loses, they'll probably give him a rematch. So, but let's say Jones beats Tom Aspinall. Then you do Jones-Alex Pereira if Pereira's still the champion. If Jones loses to Aspinall, they'll probably want to do a rematch because it'll be a huge fight. But let's also think that Tom Aspinall, let's say Jones retires after being Stipe and Tom Aspinall gets promoted to heavyweight champion and Alex Pereira beats Magomed. Then that makes sense to have Alex Pereira fight Tom Aspinall because the division has actually sorted itself out. And I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, well, you got Ciryl Gane. Let's say, I don't think anyone will say that, but let's just say, use this as an example here. Like, Ciryl Gane needs to go beat Joel Almeida and, well, first he needs to beat Volkov. And honestly, I wouldn't mind him fighting Joel Almeida after that. I have no issue if John Jones beats Stipe, he retires, Tom Aspinall beats Curtis Blades, let's say, gets promoted to champion. I don't want to see Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane right away. If Alex Pereira beats Magomed Ankalaev, you do not give Ciryl Gane that title shot. If Pereira is still champion after beating Magomed Ankalaev, you can go put him against Tom Aspinall. That would be a banger fight. It'd be amazing. And I think he would deserve that opportunity. I think his resume, traditionally, I'd want maybe one more title defense. But since Pereira does have a big name, great story, and he has a chance to make history getting 3 belts, I have no issue with him after beating Magomed, fighting Tom Aspinall. And Ciryl Gane, he needs to go beat Volkov at UFC 308, and then he can go fight Joel Almeida. This guy's gotten 2 title shots, an interim title fight. He needs to go, he's come off a win over Spivak. This guy can go beat Volkov, and then he can go beat Joel Almeida, and then get a title shot. I'm not giving Ciryl Gane a title shot instead of Alex Pereira. No way am I doing that. So guys, let me know what you think about this whole situation. Let me know what you think about the light heavyweight division and the total shit show we have at the heavyweight division. And guys, I hope you have a good one. Take care.